And we are live. This is the Canada Hoops Daily Live Hangout. We are watching Canada versus Spain. My name is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Thank you for tuning in to this, the live hangout here on the Canada Hoops Daily feed. As you can see, the score right above me as Trey Lyles knocks down a three to tie the game. Game now tied at 17. Team Canada versus Spain. We're here to watch it all. Big shouts to the people who've been rocking with us on this, the Canada Hoops Daily live streams that we've been doing, where we just watch the ball, watch the game, hang out. Great defense there from Canada. Okay, Nemhard. Okay. Canada off to a great start as their bench doing it for them right now. And, same familiar theme we've always been talking about, where everything for Canada is going to happen defensively, right? That's going to be the key to Canada's success. You're seeing it there, where they're able to get out and run and get busy thanks to their defense. It's always going to be defense first for Team Canada. As mentioned, my name is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and shouts to the people who've been rocking with us here. We just watch ball, we talk, we discuss. We, share some thoughts. People send in comments in the chat. And we just watch basketball for 2 hours. Summer basketball, have a good time here on the feed. And we've been doing this for the men's games, for the women's games. And tough times for the women. We know they're 0-2. Canada, the men's team, obviously 2-0. And opposite ends of the spectrum for the two teams is that an and one? Did they call that an and one? No, basket's good. Okay. Game is tied. That one gets to go right as the buzzer sounds. Ooh, very close to it being an and one too. But after one, it's 19-19 and everything on the line for Spain, as Spain can win the group with the win. Canada with the win wins the group, but Spain, they desperately need this because they'll drop behind Canada and have to rely on some it comes down to point differential, right? Which is what makes this tournament so crazy at the same time, because it's a short window, there's so many good teams, but then the importance of point differential in terms of needing to make sure that you win and win by a certain amount of points, or if you're going to lose, you only lose by a certain amount of points, because the point differential is what's going to matter if you are the second and even third place team in your group, as the top two third place teams move on in this tournament. So everything on the line for Spain. Canada is already through to the quarterfinals, but as mentioned, it's in their best interest to win, because winning for Canada makes them a higher seed. You obviously avoid the US for as long as you possibly can. And you want to win your group, obviously. So Canada getting off to a solid start here against a Spain team that's not as good as, we've seen Spain be in the past. You go back and, obviously Spain used to be rocking with the Gasol brothers. Rudy Fernandez is still around. He doesn't start anymore for the team, but, Rudy Fernandez been balling with Spain for a super long time. So it's kind of like a changing of the guard here for the Spanish team as they kind of, regroup and get back to prominence. But the program is so strong that even though it's not the same level of talent that we're used to seeing, you're still going to get a really good team out there. So, they're giving Canada a go right now, right? So that's really going to be just a hint of what's to come, as Canada will be in tough in this one. After the first quarter, it is 19-19 as mentioned. 14 Canada, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Dylan Brooks both with 5 points. On the flip side, Willie Herman Gomez, Raps fans' favorite. Or what was a movie with Ant-Man? The Adam Sandler movie? Can't remember off the top of my head. But, yes, Bo Cruz with 4 points for Spain. And look at this. The funny thing is, right? The key to Canada's success the whole time is defense. And look at Lou Dort ready to apply that full court press already. Like my guy is just so amped up and focused and ready even before the ball's even inbounded. But that's really the key to Canada, right? Like Canada is going to win because of this pressure. Just checking the audio there. Let me know in the chat how the audio sounds. Yeah, Canada's got to get those rebounds. Too easy. Yeah, Canada versus Spain was a massive, massive game in the World Cup. That was the one that Canada won to qualify for this Olympics. Okay, Trey Lyles. Oh, not mad at that aggressiveness, Trey Lyles. It was a solid move. Oh, come on. Canada struggling on the glass here. And this is interesting, right? Because we know that the ability, shout out to Sergio Scariolo, by the way, former Toronto Raptors assistant coach, 2019 champion. Seeing like Spain also obviously warms my soul to think of Marc Gasol, one of your favorite Raptors. He wasn't here for a long time, but it was a good time. Sorry, I messed up the line. Here for a good time, not a long time. Is that what it was? Anyways, you know what I'm saying. He won a championship. Key part to the Toronto Raptors 2019 chip was Marc Gasol and, of course, Sergio. I'm interested, though, to see, okay, Nembhard, a lot of dribbling, not a lot of movement here on Canada's offense. Wow. It's funny because we've seen Nembhard do that during these playoffs for the Indiana Pacers, right? Where Nembhard, in a tough situation, able to knock down tough shot with confidence, but big bucket getter there by Nembhard. But if you're Canada, you want a lot more ball movement. It seemed like everyone was kind of just standing around and watching the dribbler. Nice pass by Jamal Murray. Right? We haven't really seen the Jamal Murray that we know is available. You know what I mean? That we know he's capable of. But when you see flashes like that, it's a reminder of the heights that this team can get to. Nice look. Murray was looking for the foul there, but he couldn't get the call. Come on, man. Yeah, that's a tough one there. That one's a tough one. This is a big time shot by Nembhard. And if you see that, right, as he steps into that, he really gets his legs under him because he knows he has to get that shot over the big. Not sure who that shot was over, but a great job by Nembhard to get that shot off over a double team. Big shouts to all the people that are in the chat. If you're watching right now on the YouTube page, big shouts. Make sure you just bless the video with the like. That's how you support the movement that is a Canada Hoops daily pod and content. Just like the video. That's all you got to do. Really appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with us here. Send in your comments and questions. Be a part of the show. And we will be enjoying this Canada game as they're looking to win their group. And when the groups were announced, remember, everyone was talking about how this is a group of death. And Canada so far has been just slaying everybody. This lineup's getting a lot of run too, right? When you look at Nemhard with Jamal Murray in the backcourt, it's like the depth of this team, like what they're capable of, can be so amazing. Wow, Nemhard with confidence, big shot maker. Okay. And Spain setting into the zone, right? And obviously, when you're playing against a zone, you have to knock down shots. Oof. Spain, we know, can knock down shots. Juancho. Nice pass. And the Spain, the Spain, the entire Spain team is up in arms. And I say this every single one of these that we do. Again, it's the foul call where they wait to see if the ball goes in. And if it goes in, they're not going to make the call. But because he missed the layup, it's a foul. They've been doing it the whole turn. I mean, listen, if you're going to ask for anything from officials, you want them to be consistent. And they've done this consistently throughout the Olympics. I get it. I don't think that's a foul. But it's a foul in FIBA because that's how they've been calling it. Oh, wow. They got a tech? Big free throws. Big free throw. It's so tough too because you don't want to be giving away points in situations like this, right? Where every single point matters so much. Oh, okay. Greece won? I have that like right above the score that I'm looking at. I just didn't even pay attention to it. It's a big win for Greece. Shouts to Yanni. Kem Birch for sure going to get some minutes in this game. He played really well in the last game, and you're going to need some solid Kem Birch minutes just because of the size of Spain. Ah, ah. Nemhard just missing that jumper, and Kem Birch. Jeez, Shai. Shai is so smooth, man. Like he just moves at his own pace, and you can't stop that. It looks like he's moving in slow motion, and yet the defender still can't stop him. Canada just getting dominated on the boards right now. And this is where you're seeing, there was a worry when you looked at this Canadian roster about if there was a hole in the roster. And it was definitely in the middle, but Kem Birch answering at the other end. And he's going to have to do that, right? Kem Birch, if you're a Raptors fan, you're familiar with Kem Birch's game where he's a solid big. Like he has good skills, good hands around the basket. It's just injuries was always his issue, right? But you've seen spurts where you're like, no, this guy can play in the NBA. Juancho looking for a foul there. Slow, slow. Look at RJ. Ah, Canada just getting multiple opportunities, but can't get it to go. You've seen them miss like chippies right at the rim their last couple possessions. That's not an offensive foul. Oh, what happened there? Looked like he tripped. Or he stepped on looks like he stepped on his foot, maybe. Strong move by Aldama there. You can see though, right? Like Spain doesn't have like the headline names of like the Gasols anymore, obviously. They have solid NBA players. And this is what you love from Shai. Canada's struggled, as I mentioned, the last few possessions, the last few times down the floor. What does Shai do? Let me put some points on the board. Let me get to the cup. Let me get to the free throw line. Calm everything down. Relax everything. Right? And Canada needed these points. That's the vet point guard play. It sounds so weird to refer to Shai as a vet, but that's just his game, right? Like he knows what he's doing. He is controlling everything on the floor. Needed that free throw, but the point remains, as Canada's offense struggled, how do you get points up on the board? Let me get to the free throw line. Great job there by Shai. It's a moving screen, man. Dylan Brooks working so hard fighting over those moving screens. Great defense there from Canada. Just another possession where they're doing exactly what we've always talked about, the fact that they are going to win with defense. Multiple moving screens Dylan Brooks is fighting over. And like the beauty of this is, Shai can do the same thing on defense and deal with this pressure for the whole game now because Canada also has Nembhard. Nembhard gave them great minutes. So they have the depth. These guys are fresh. They're knocking down shots on offense. Dylan Brooks is wearing the Canada jersey, so he's going to be balling because that's what Dylan Brooks in the Canada uniform. I said it earlier on in the tournament. If I'm the Houston Rockets, I'm getting Dylan Brooks to wear a Canada jersey under his Rockets jersey because that man balls out when he plays for Team Canada. And that's not a knock. Like, he's a good NBA player. He's a solid NBA player, but it just goes up a level when my guy is wearing the Canada jersey. I don't know, man. It's a beautiful thing to see because this program, man, like we've watched it for so long and just seeing where it's at now, where you're talking about potentially winning your group in an Olympic competition. Like these are things like this is up there with the Raps championship, right? Like I never thought that, it was one of those things where you couldn't really picture. Like, could I picture that? Could I picture Canada or picture the Raptors winning an NBA championship? Until it happened, it was like, we're here. And now you're watching the Olympics with the same vibes of like, we always heard about, oh, Canada's golden era. And here comes, this wave of talent, of NBA talent. The Olympic team should be able to give everyone a go. And we're actually here. What just happened here? I got a message. Oh, CBC. The game is on CBC. Or uh, if you're on the computer, just go to CBC Gem, cbcgem.com, log in for free, and you can get the game there. Canada up by 6. And it's been like, I want to say this game's been at like Spain's pace more than it's been Canada's. What I mean by that is, Spain obviously has multiple big guys. The way that they run their offense is very methodical. There's obviously a lot of ball screens, a lot of movement. Whereas Canada probably, being the smaller team, probably wants to get out and run more, get more in transition. They haven't really been able to do that, but still able to get buckets because look at RJ. You can't stop him, man. But even something like that, I always point to good coaching, right? And you putting your players in positions to succeed. You run the action, you get RJ in the low block, but he's in the position where he has his left hand dribble. And we know RJ with his left hand dribble, he's going to get downhill. He's going to get to the cup. Easy too. I set an alarm and I was like, wait, why is my alarm going off right now? And now I remember why I set the alarm because I have to try and get tickets to something. That's so funny. The tickets go on sale at 12 p.m. So I set an alarm yesterday so that I wouldn't forget. And good thing I did set the alarm because guess what? I did forget. Dylan Brooks fouling the 3-point shooter. Obviously, you don't like that, but three big free throws there. Shai couldn't get that one to go, but this is where Canada is going to need their defense to get them out, get them in transition. But Spain just does such a good job. Look at that offense. See, that's a missed layup. That's not a foul. But again, we've seen that, right? By now, we're used to this. It's a big time bucket right there. And of course, it's Shea, right? Like we know by now when Canada needs big buckets, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that's going to come through. What did we just talk about, right? Canada needing to get some defense to turn that into offense. SGA. Tell him again, Mr. Schulman. Tell him again. With confidence, calm and cool. Splash. Pick. And that's got to be, you're picking my guy's cookies at half court like that. That's a tough one. But that's Shea, right? We've seen it time and time again. We saw it last year during the World Cup where sometimes things looked so dire for Canada, right? Like They were just either offense struggling, they can't get anything to go, and then Shai just put the team on his back to bring Canada, either back into the game or to just win the game and hit clutch shots time after time again. And so now to watch Shai doing it in the Olympics, and Canada has been winning just solidly, right? Like they've had some close games for sure, but I mean, this Olympic run, and I'm including the pre-Olympic games that Canada played. I mean, Shai has been Shai, and the depth of Canada has allowed Shai to take his game to another level, I feel like, because he can pick his spots a lot more. He can be a lot more of a factor on the defensive end as well, because he doesn't have to save up all his energy to carry Canada's entire offense. Like, look at that. Look at how he ran out there to contest that shot. And closing this half will be huge for Canada. If you can extend this lead, get it up over 10, nice pass. Great pass from Jamal Murray. Let's go. Look at this squad, right? The squad that's out there right now, this could have been one of the lineups that people thought might have been the starting lineup for Canada. And yet this is like one of their just rotations, like the depth of this team. It's so good. And we're seeing Jamal Murray look more like Jamal Murray or make more Jamal Murray-like plays as this tournament goes along. Perfect, right? Perfect. Shai takes a double team. Ooh, he almost hit that. Jeez. Yo, he almost hit that. That is crazy. I mean, Spain, the fact that Canada is going into the break with an 11-point lead, 49-38. I mean, Canada closed out that quarter super well. But again, you got to highlight Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? Canada's putting up 30 points in that quarter. But after starting out so slow, where it seemed like they were on 34 points for the longest time, and then all of a sudden, Shai with the sense of the moment, right? Your star player stepping up when you need the most. We know how important closing quarters are. And who's going to do it for Canada? Of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I want to emphasize just how these things were done as well, because it's not just about him getting buckets and he knocks down the three. Cool, we get that, right? But to me, it's a fact that it's the next play that's so important, where he wants to force it. He wants to force it, right? But if you're Shai, hello, check. Is mic's on? Am I on? Am I on still? Yes. If you're Shai, you want to make sure that you're making all the plays. But Spain knows that too. And the beauty of that last play where Shai takes on the double team, attracts the two defenders, but doesn't panic. Just your high school coach will teach you, see the double team, retreat dribble, your heads up, don't pick up the ball, and finds who? Jamal Murray, who obviously can make a play because he's that level of talent. And Jamal Murray gets a floater to go. And you see how excited Shai was to see Jamal Murray make that play, because they know, right? Jamal Murray's working himself, back into game shape, right? It was a long season for Jamal Murray. We know he played through injuries during the playoffs. So him coming back to play for Canada at this point, we know that it's not going to be easy for him, right? And yes, I just realized that it's 12:02. It's 12:02 and my phone's ringing. I'm trying to be on a live stream, buy tickets, and it'll only let me get 5 tickets. Okay. On a live stream, trying to buy tickets, trying to answer the phone, because my boy Aola is supposed to come through. Let me see here. Tickets are no longer available. What? How did that happen? I literally was on the stream trying to buy tickets, and now tickets no longer available. That doesn't even work. Come on, man. Come on, man. I tried to get tickets. I had them in the queue and nothing. Okay, hold on. Here we are. Here we are. Now I'm going to go back to make a phone call on this live stream. Lots going on here, people. Lots going on. Hello? Yes, yes, yes. No, I'm here. I'm on the live stream right now. It's halftime. It is 49-38. Canada up at the half. All right. 49-38. We're doing it all here. We're trying to buy tickets to stuff. We're trying to take phone calls right now, respond to text messages. Lots going on the stream. Lots going on in this game. 11-point lead for Team Canada. And the thing for me in watching this team so far is they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Like Canada just looks like such a serious team. Like this team is dialed in, they're locked in, they're ready for the moment. The moment hasn't been too big for them. And I mean, you know, it sounds still so crazy for me to say because we've been waiting for this for so long, but of course this moment's not too big for them. Right? Like you look at all these guys, Jamal Murray won a championship last year. Shai just went on a nice playoff run, a deep playoff run this year, coming off a MVP caliber season for his team, right? RJ, Dylan Brooks, these guys were battle tested from last summer in this or in the World Cup that was last year. So even looking at a guy like Andrew Nemhard, who had a great first half, I thought gave Canada great minutes in giving Shai a rest, and he was just super aggressive, taking jump shots, shooting threes. He hit 2 threes, but the confidence in which he played with, where Spain tries to go into a zone, and it doesn't matter because Nemhard's just knocking down threes. It's like the way that this team is playing, they just look like they feel like they're supposed to be here. They're supposed to compete. They're supposed to be confident. And I talked about it from the start of the tournament because I thought it was very telling of Canada's mentality because they didn't go to the opening ceremonies. And I know that some people might have looked at that and thought, oh, it's the Olympics, like this is an experience. You might never have another chance to get here. Like it's in Paris. It's a really cool thing. And I get it. But it was 2 hours away from where Canada was staying and or where they were playing the next day. You had your first game of the tournament. You wanted to make sure you were locked in for your first game. Like you came to this as a business trip. Like you came with a focus. That's what that showed me right away. And, they're playing against Greece. Of course, Greece was there and Giannis was the flag bearer. So, of course, he's got to be there. Like, I get all that, right? And the pageantry of it all, I totally understand. But you know what's going to have more pageantry? The medal ceremony, the podium. So I totally understand that decision. But right away, that just showed me the mentality of how locked in Canada is as a squad, as an organization. And they've played accordingly, right? First half here, you come out in a must-win game to win your group, right? And because you don't want to deal with the point differential. But if you can beat Spain comfortably, that now helps you even in the rankings or the seeding for the first place teams, right? So you come out, you're up by 11. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the way with 13 points, 4 of 7 shooting. And the way that Shai closed that first half, he's just a closer. That's what he does. He's a real dude. Dylan Brooks with 9 points. You got Nemhard off the bench with 8 points. He gave solid minutes. I thought Murray gave solid minutes. Murray with 4 assists off the bench. Point guard play. It's just what we're seeing this team right now. What we're seeing them do is just round into form. If Jamal Murray continues to elevate his play and we're seeing more Jamal Murray-like plays, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anything's possible for this team. Anything is possible for this team. And RJ Barrett, I like the fact that he's been the leading scorer for Canada in the first 2 games. He only has 4 points in this game, but he's not forcing anything, right? And that just shows the complete buy-in that this whole team has, where it doesn't have to be one guy, you know? It can be everybody. Everybody's chipping in. I see Eric on the IG feed. What's going on, Eric? He says, OMG, Canada fouled on 3-point shots 3 times in this game. Come on, guys, clean it up. Yeah, I think it's so tough, right? Like, because you can tell the game plan from Canada is to remain disciplined on defense in terms of helping and then recovering to the 3-point line. And it's not even like there's no fake recovery, right? Like they are making sure that they're getting out and contesting the 3-point shots. And so with that, you know, sometimes you might get a little over aggressive, but I'm sure Jordy's going to accept maybe one of those. 3 is definitely a little too much. Not probably. I'm sure they're talking about that right now at the half, where Canada, I mean, they're up 11 right now. And we learned last game, as emphasized last game, where they were in tough in their last game, down 4. Canada goes into halftime. They see now, okay, you got your first half play against the other team. You see their rotations. You see how they're going to play defense. You see what they're going to do with their zone. And then Canada goes in and makes their adjustments and then acts accordingly. And I'm expecting them to come out and extend this lead. And I know that sounds crazy for me to say, but I've just seen it so often where the adjustments that Canada plays with, the intensity that they're going to play with, the focus, and this team is just locked in. And Jordy has them so prepared. They're going to come out in this third quarter. They see how they play to close out the quarter in terms of turning up the defense a little, getting that cooking. I don't know. Canada, we've seen it time and time again, where they just have this ability to get their offense clicking, get everything going to the cup, and make a push. 49-38, Canada up at the half. Who's doing the work for Spain here? Spain has no one in double digits, but Willie Herman Gomez at 8 points. He's 8 points, 4 rebounds. And then he got 5 points from Aldama. But, I mean, Juancho at 5 off the bench. It's a spread out attack for Spain, but that's what we talk about, right? International play, you're either the team that has one dude and everything goes through that dude, you know, whether it's Giannis, whether it's Jokic, or you have more of a team aspect. You might not have the top tier talent, and Spain doesn't have the top tier talent, but they do have, you know, the team mentality, and it's a collective. Problem is Canada's collective is more talented than Spain, right? And that's kind of what we saw there to close out that half, where Canada decides, okay, it's closing time now. Let's turn this up. So as mentioned, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 4 of 7 from the floor. Dylan Brooks off to a great start. He is 3 for 4 for 9 points. And Dylan Brooks and RJ, I always feel like they start games on time for Canada. Like, you can always count on a couple buckets from Dylan Brooks and RJ Barrett in the first quarter. That's just what I noticed from Team Canada consistently, where those guys are just ready. And the way that the offense runs, you have those guys coming off screens. You have them, they're curling and having the ability to get downhill to the cup. And it's just such a thing of beauty to watch. And Canada's in this position where I think, if you're watching them, there's so many different places where they can get offense from that is not just dependent on one person. I don't know. I think it's I don't know where this team, where the heights are that this team can reach. Can they how much of a go can they give Team USA? That's obviously going to be the big thing that everyone's worried about, everyone's going to wonder about. But I think at the end of the day, the big thing if you're Canada, you want to make sure that you are just playing with utmost confidence. You know what your rotation is. You know what your rotations are depending on who you're playing against, meaning like, do we need our size lineup? Do we have to add in Kem Birch? Are we playing small? Right. And it's like that to me is so interesting to see Canada just sort that out and be able to just really get it going and have these different lineups that they're able to put out there and different rotations of just NBA talent. Like a 30-19 quarter for Canada, right? And a lot of that damage came late in the half. Got to give Canada credit for how they played in that quarter for sure. But they'll need to finish strong, right? Because the point spread is going to be a big thing. And if you're Canada, if you're able to get a double digit dub against a solid Spain team, that only helps you going forward in terms of seeding. I think Canada, you could tell the intensity that they came out with on the defensive end, especially their starting unit. They just came out on a mission to where they know the way that they were able to turn the game around last year against Spain was exactly what we saw in this game as well, where it's from the defensive end. You're going to force turnovers, you're going to get out and run. And when things break down, things get a little slow. Okay, Shai's going to make plays. It's been a good recipe for success, right? And then also having the benefit to go to Jamal Murray and with your bench unit. Look at that. Great set ran by Canada. Lou Dort can't get that one to go, but look at the rebound by Dylan Brooks amongst the trees. Ah, Canada's got a gang rebound. Oh, it's an ugly free throw right there from Dwight Powell. Right? Again, Canada's defense. They're going to smother you and they're going to wear you down. And that's normally why Canada makes these second half pushes. It's because the guards of the other team have been worn down. Look at Shai, man. Look at Shai, man. This guy trying to D up on Shai, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know how you stop Shai. His mid range game is so smooth. He's just always moving at his own pace. Jeez. Look at RJ. Strong take. Strong take from RJ Barrett. And that's it, right? The rotation just comes to RJ. He's taking what the defense gives him. Canada needs more ball movement here. Nice pass. Great job by Dylan Brooks, man. It's just a great job. He just drove the lane so like under control and finds Dwight Powell. Oof. Ah. And because of Spain's shooting, no lead is safe. Spain is able to just shoot the lights out. And I think that adds to just how dangerous they are. Look at that defense, though. Who's a foul on? Is it on the shot or is it them battling under the rim? I wonder, though, here's the thing. Shai gets so much credit, and rightfully so. Shai gets so much credit for the shots that he hits and the buckets that he makes. But I'm just so impressed with his level of intensity at the defensive end. Like, he's not resting on defense, right? Like, he's out there chasing guys around, running off screens, fighting through screens. And you got to give them credit as a squad for completely buying in to defense. And it's tough to get NBA players to do that, right? But this team, obviously, you have super high level defenders like Lou Dort and Dylan Brooks, but to get your stars to do that as well, Dylan might have had too much time on that shot. Big shout to the people who are tuning into this Canada Hoops Daily live hangout. We are watching Canada versus Spain. Oh, I thought Shai was going to pick his cookies again there, but forces a turnover. Canada getting out and running. Defense to offense. Keep stressing it. This is how Canada is going to win. Starts at the defensive end. Wow, that's not a double dribble? Look at these guys. They're having fun. They're smiling. Shai's joking around with the guys on the bench while he's in the game. I bet you they probably do counting stats for like deflections or something, right? That's what he's joking around about with the bench. It's like, I got that one. But yes, this is a Canada Hoops Daily live hangout. Canada versus Spain. Canada extending their lead to 11 right now. And we've been doing this for the women's games as well. Unfortunately, Canada's women have not done as well as the men, but we've been watching those games as well. You can catch that content. We do wrap-up podcasts as well, or recaps of the games, where we'll do the live watch-along, and then after the game's over, we will restart, reset, and do a reaction pod to the Canada games, both the men and women. And it's tough because, we'll just outright say it. The women had a very disappointing Olympics so far. And, the men have done the opposite. The men are holding it down in terms of getting the dubs in the Olympics. And obviously, Canada, the expectation for the men's team is higher than it is for the women's team. But the women still had podium hopes, right? Like, they have hopes to make the podium. And instead, it's just not been a good showing for them at all. But either way, hopefully the men can make up for it by making crazy run and bodies flying again. And anytime you see someone on the floor, you know it's like Lou Dort or Dylan Brooks involved for sure, right? That's just how that works. My guy LT checks in on the IG stream. Just a reminder too for everybody, there's an IG stream which you can find at Canada Hoops Daily, but the main feed is on the YouTube stream. You can go there. You can find that on the YouTube page. Just search Sheldon Alexander and then join the live chat. What do we got here? My guy LT says, trying to watch this game, tennis, and track. This is so hard. I will say, I mean, I should turn the camera around, but I will say it's moments like this why I have 2 TVs up on my wall to watch all the sports. And also, it's one of my friends, she says to me, she's like, you are such a single dude. You have 2 TVs up in your living room. Like, correct. But to watch all the sports, reminder, as I saw NFL highlights last night too, right? NFL's back, which is really one of the main reasons to have 2 TVs up during NFL Sundays. But yes, LT, I know I'm hyped up for track. Track to me is, obviously I love the basketball. I'm always going to watch the basketball, and it's heightened by the fact that Canada has such a good team this year and like real expectations. But I always love the basketball. But track is the next favorite thing by far that I love watching the Olympics for. You can suck me into the Olympics with races. Most races you can get me to watch, swimming I'll watch, but track is just so good. And you love the fact of the main event is still the 100-meter final, where I just think it's such a cool thing that the entire world stops to watch the same thing for 10 seconds. Or that someone's been training for 4 years for 10 seconds. It's just so incredible. It's so incredible. Kelly gets called for the traveling, but that's okay. Shouts to Kelly Olynyk. I want to shout him out too, because I feel like Kelly, he's captain Canada, he's repped Canada and played for the national team his entire NBA career, all the way through from the youth program and while he was up to when he's in the NBA and continues to do so. And he's a guy who now is coming off the bench for Canada, and it's not like you're going to hear any complaints. It's not like he's getting the same amount of shot attempts. RJ was too hyped there. He was getting ready to think, wait, am I going up? Am I going to try to dunk this? What's happening here? Look at this. This is a thing of beauty. Shai and RJ going to the bench, Nemhard and Jamal Murray checking in. There's a drop off, but that's not a huge drop off. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so excited for these Olympics. Watching these guys play at such a high level. And I was talking about this with my buddy Joe the other day. Shout out to Joe. His birthday yesterday, by the way. August baby, fellow August baby. But we were just talking about the fact of Olympic basketball, and, you just see the difference in the style of play from the NBA. It's just such a different game. But also, the reason why I love Olympic basketball is because I know that these guys are trying. Like the NBA, so much of the regular season discussion is about, is someone playing or not? Is this load management? Is this guy playing defense tonight? All these weird things. Whereas here, I know, damn, big time block. I know these guys are running back on defense, playing hard. Great job by Nikhil. That's just effort right there by Nikhil to just affect that. Oh, Kelly was looking for a foul there, but couldn't get that one to go. And Dan Troman's right. The pace of this game, I think, favors Spain. They can't get their offense to go. And as I say that, Oh, I thought he was going to knock down the three. But Spain just winning the glass battle as well. And there's the three. Canada calls the timeout. 6-point game. And Dan Schulman's right. The pace of this game, it's become a defensive grind, and that favors Spain, right? Canada needs to get out on the break. Canada needs to get out and run. And, the way that Spain is able to just slow things down and make you play their game in the half court, where they're going to make you run off screens. They're going to make you make rotations. They're going to get you out of position for defensive rebounds. That's the style of play that Spain wants to play. Canada, they got to turn up their style of play, which is full court pressure, make you play with some pace, make Spain's big guys have to run up and down the floor, make it into a track meet. Canada doesn't want to sit in the half court and, ISO ball it up. That's not how they want to play. But at this point, you got to give Spain credit, right? They've taken the punches from Canada. They've taken, a great start from Shai, who has 15 points in this game. And, Spain's hung around. And this is a massive game for them. Obviously, they win the group. So this game is for all the marbles, as they say. But they're getting such solid play from multiple players on their team. It's such a team effort. Oh, I didn't even see that. Shai smiling to the bench on the way to that dunk. I didn't see that replay before. Put that one in the montage. I mean, if we're allowed to have a montage, because I know you can't have Olympic play or Olympic, video just anywhere. Jamal Murray thought someone was rolling to the basket, but there was no one there. 59-53 is the score right now. This lineup for Canada, this is interesting minutes here because Spain's really making a run. Oh, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
What is up? We are on. Oh, is it raining outside?
Just sprinkling.
Oh, okay. What was that? Nemhard. Yeah, just move whatever. So, yeah, no, Canada, good start so far, but right now Spain's making a bit of a run. My guy Ola has checked into the building right now. For the people on the live stream, if you're wondering who I am speaking to, if you hear me speaking to someone that is not one of y'all in the chat right now, but Spain making a run. Jeez. Another big time three. Who was that? Was that Wancho? That's a flop. That's such a terrible call.
Wow. Man, that's a flop.
That's a terrible call. Dribble penetration, kick out to three. That's how Spain's going to play, right?
Wow. Man,
oh,
man. Got a
man.
finger in his mouth and
right?
got that foul call. Come on, we got to play better defense.
Canada lucky to get that rebound there because that was another wide open look.
It seems like the game plan is they want to give up the open three.
No, well, it's tough, right? With this lineup, it's not Canada's like top big bucket from Jamal. It's not their top like defensive lineup. You know what I mean? So like they're gonna get more dribble penetration against this lineup, which there's gonna be some drop off when you go to your bench. But I still think the one thing for Canada is in this game, Jamal Murray's looked the most like Jamal Murray, right? He's been kind of slow paced to start the game. These Olympics, where he kind of looks rusty, kind of looks like out of sync. But in this game, we've seen more Jamal Murray-like plays. Even that handle, right? Like calm, cool, shifty. But he had like a couple plays earlier on in the first half where he's diming and like no look pass, like right under the basket, like just, and even that step back he just hit. Those are plays we see Jamal Murray make, right? Which we hadn't really been seeing a lot of so far. But if that happens, my guy's coming off the bench for Canada. Like that to me is just showing the ultimate buy-in that this whole team has, right? Big time play, right? Got to hit that shot though.
You got to hit the shot, but
Yeah.
you didn't even need to kick it out.
Yeah, you want him to go and take the layup.
But it is what it is, man.
That flop, my guy LT says in the chat, that was an awful call. Soccer call. Yes. Hey, Melvin Edgem minutes. Okay. Melvin Edgem minutes. I like that. Get him some burn in the Olympics. That's a dude that played all the games for Canada, right? We get to remember the way that FIBA has changed things up with how you qualify for the Olympics, how you qualify for the World Cup. They've extended that so much that it's year round. And a lot of the time you're not going to get your NBA guys or even your like college kids to be able to go. So you're going to have to go way down in the depth chart to get some guys to put the country first, travel across the world to meet the team wherever they're playing to play in these qualifiers. And Melvin Edgem has done that for like a decade, right? So to get him some minutes here in the Olympics, like that's incredible. And you heard them talk about it too, that they wanted to have him on the team because he is like a vet presence for these guys. And, again, that's a testament to just how close this team is, that you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's an MVP candidate in the NBA, but, Melvin Edgem's in the huddle being able to say, hey, what about blah, 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 because of his FIBA experience. Like, I don't know, the way that they've done this program the last couple years in terms of just getting the buy-in from everyone year in, year out from the top down, it's just been a dope thing to see. And I wish Corey was there as well, just to be on the bench for sure. I think that would have been pretty cool. But again, you can't bring everybody, right? And like, I still wonder what the real story is of what happened as to why Corey didn't even get an invite to the training camp or the tryout. But yeah, either way, it's dope to see this Canadian program playing at this level in the Olympics where they're winning comfortably against top teams in the world, right? Like they beat Spain in the World Cup last year, but I mean, even just the way that they started this tournament, you're playing Giannis in Greece, no problem, right? Like that's big. That's huge. I don't know. I just think watching this program and what they've been able to do the last couple years has just been amazing. And then even the Australia game where you're battling through adversity, Shai picks up 2 fouls within like a minute 30.
See my boy Abrinas resurfaced. I like that.
Abrinas? Oh yeah, he's on Spain, right? Yeah, he's on Spain.
That boy, man.
Spain's nice, man. Spain has some sleeper dudes, right? That are nice. I can't believe Rudy Fernandez is still playing.
Yeah, man.
Right?
He's
like
a vet. He's their vet, right?
Yeah. But he's been cooking like those videos that you seen online because everyone keeps posting the Kobe Redeem Team highlights where like Kobe's just cooking Spain. Like Rudy Fernandez going toe-to-toe with Kobe, like in the Olympics. Like, like he's playing, Spain gave the US a go. They gave them a run. Like Kobe had to put the Mamba cape on and save LeBron. We don't talk about that too much. I don't want to get into the whole, oh, wow. What's going on, man? Jordy's like, come on, man. What are we doing?
Right.
But no, I'm playing, but I'm not going to get into the whole, this LeBron padding of his career resume here. One more Olympics, Captain America. Woo, shifty. Woo.
Okay. Nice finish. That's what I'm talking about. Cook.
Yo. He gave him the shifty, the hezzy, the in and out dribble.
Nice little Euro to finish it off.
Right?
Okay.
But those are the shots, right? Like you can't fall asleep on defense.
Canada's giving up too many threes.
Yeah, you can't fall asleep on defense in these Olympics, right? Because like these guys are shooters.
Denmark's getting whatever, like Canada's getting whatever in the paint.
Yeah.
While Spain is getting the 3-point shots.
Yeah.
So nobody's stopping nobody.
Yo, Nemhard has 14 points. When did that happen?
Oh, good defense, Nemhard. Okay.
I mean, he did have 8 in the first half, right? So I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, come on now. I like the grittiness of this team.
Of course.
There's no back down.
None. Yo, you see Shai yelling from the bench?
There's no back down.
Did you see that from the last game?
Did
Did you see? Yeah, I like that.
Come on, man. And that's
What's wrong with my guy? Right. Jamal's like, yo, back up, man.
Where's they go? Murray, that's all good, man. You got to chill out, though.
Right?
We'll send the next man in to deal with that.
Right?
We got to deal with that.
That's why Edgem's there, right? Oh, they send him right to the bench. Sergio, the former Raptors assistant, is Spain's coach, eh?
I'm calling Birch right up. Come on, Birch, let's go.
Right? Right? See, here's the thing, though, right? As much as Canada is letting Spain stay in this game, Shai's been on the bench just resting nicely, just saving up energy for closing time, and I like that.
The double team Murray now? Finish strong.
Okay, ooh.
Now. What?
I don't know if that's a foul. Oh, they called offensive foul.
Yeah, I know. Where was the offensive foul? Is this another flop? He's moving!
Yeah, that's a terrible call.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a terrible
call. Are you guys
call.
calling the trip? I don't know. Which one are you calling here?
Yes.
That's a flop. If you're calling the trip after the play, then that's one thing. But
I agree with Megan the Peak. That is a flop.
Rebound, come on.
And he wasn't even in position.
Powell, we got to secure the ball, baby.
Oh, man. My guy LT asking in the chat, he says, I missed the Greece game. Is Thanasis finally getting some run? No, Thanasis is injured. So he wasn't even in the lineup. He's injured. I don't even think he's officially like on the roster. I think because he was in like a polo. So he wasn't even like dressed for the game. But I did see a highlight because someone posted about like Thanasis's leadership because they showed him in a practice and he's like talking to 2 of the other guys on the team, like explaining something. I don't know, but it looked like really serious. They're saying he's a good locker room guy, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what's his name said too. Jeff Teague. Do you see that? So Jeff Teague's
pod. That's one of my favorite pods.
Yeah,
top 5.
Yeah. Jeff Teague's got the jokes, right? But he was mad serious because he was like, no, like don't mess around. Like people don't understand how important Thanasis is to the team because the bond between him and Giannis is so strong that when he's not there, Giannis is off.
Okay.
Right? Like that's just how close he is with his brothers. I also don't like this small screen right now because I'm seeing Spain get buckets.
Right.
Okay, Dylan.
Now it's only a 5-point lead though. I don't know, man.
I'm going to say this, and I don't like that I'm saying this, but I'm going to be honest. I don't worry watching Canada play basketball because I'm just so confident that like Shai's going to get the buckets. They're going to close out the game. Like I know they're up 5 and it's too close.
They have a pecking order.
Yeah.
They know how to close games.
Yeah.
We know who the ball's going
but
to.
It's a
we
weird.
know who's setting the screen and who's rebounding.
But I feel weird saying that. Like I shouldn't be that confident. Like in my life, have I been that confident about a basketball team that I root for? Do you know what I mean? Like I was like that with Kawhi. You know, like I was like that with Kawhi. Like, yo, keep it close. Kawhi can win it. And now I'm watching Canada thinking the same things where it's like, yeah, this is a 5-point game. It's pretty close, but right now, I know Shai's going to make plays down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. And you can already see the defense is already picking up.
Dylan.
Bucket.
Straight to the cup.
I like his confidence.
And you see him talking trash to the bench too.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
We need an engaged Dylan.
But I like the offensive sets that Canada runs because both Dylan Brooks and RJ score so easily within the flow of the offense because the sets that they run, it has them going downhill to their dominant hand. Floater.
Yeah. Even Nemhard in this offense,
he's
hanging the key every time.
Yeah, like you could tell Canada is so well disciplined and structured in their offense, right? Look at this. Nemhard with 16 points. That's depth, like serious depth.
Good defense. See, another.
Yeah, defense.
Yep.
But that's the whole thing. What, like, listen, I'm saving all the big talk for when they play the U.S. because I'm not saying that they could beat the U.S. I'm not saying that. But the reason why they'll give the U.S. a go is because they play defense. Mm-hmm. Like all these international teams, right? When you watch them before, I'll give Jordi Fernandez this. The biggest difference is that Canada ends up dummying these other European teams because when they decide, okay, well, full court pressing, it's just turnovers. It's like, you know, they decide we're going to full court press and Lou Dort is just he's putting the clamps on you. And you're just going to, these guards get tired. Like that's what happened to Greece. Greece was in that game against Canada. And then by the time the second half came around, those dudes were just turning the ball over because you're tired. A full game of trying to dribble the ball up the floor against Lou Dort one-on-one. You're going to be drained. You're going to be tired by the end of the game.
That's the advantage that Team Canada has over the other teams. In this
They
have two wing dogs.
Exactly.
Two wing defenders.
And then that's what happened against Australia, right? Against Australia, Josh Giddey was getting busy in the first half. He had like 15. Dylan Brooks was guarding him. And, you know, he's making him work for his points, but he's getting busy. And then halftime, okay, we're going to switch. We're going to put Lou Dort on him. Dylan Brooks, you're going to guard Patty Mills. Patty Mills was like 2 for 10 in that game. And then after 15 in the first half for Giddey, he had 4 points in the second half, right? And it's just, again, coach making adjustments, but they play defense, right? And you're seeing the depth of Canada, to me, for the next, look at that play, right? Wow. Look at that set. But that's what I'm talking about. Offensive set where RJ gets the ball, left-hand dribble, dominant towards the basket. Right? Like that's what I'm saying. Their sets are just so good.
That's a great offensive
and
set.
The people, like everybody is just in a position to succeed, right?
Oh, good defense. We're switching everything. We're keeping them all to the key now. Look at Dylan over the screen. Okay.
Good defense. That's a tough shot.
That's a tough shot.
Yeah, you tip your cap to him, right? That's the Kenny Smith. Sometimes good offense can't be stopped. It doesn't matter what you're doing, right? Great offense beats great defense all the time. Skates. Oh, wow. If he got that to go.
He put a little too much English at the end. And I thought he was just going to attack the body and try to get to the line. So,
I'm not mad at that. Good hustle, Ken Birch. Good hustle.
Easy baskets, man.
That guy looks mad young. He looks like a little kid.
Spain looks like a young team.
Yeah, they're in a transition phase for sure of their program, right? Yeah. And Nemhard's earned it, man. Nemhard's played really good in this game.
Yes.
And also, too, getting Shai off the ball, I think, helps as well.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy's getting cooked.
Cooked. That's a foul. We'll take that.
They're going to say it's on the ground, though, aren't they?
You just switch until he gets the matchup that he likes.
Yeah.
ISO at the top.
You can't stop him, right? Like he plays at his own pace, and it looks like he's going in slow motion. But
this is definitely not stopping.
No, exactly, right? And that's the other funny part about this. It's like Shai, they put in guys to guard Shai, and it's like I cook dudes in the NBA.
Thank you.
Right? Like this guy can't stop me. You're gonna try to guard me close? Like, come on, man.
Hold that. Arenas has no choice but the foul.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one, right?
Man, Arenas, you still got slow feet, homie.
Poor guy.
Right.
Oh, they're saying it's only two shots? No, he's behind the line. No, yeah, way behind the line. Yeah, way behind the line.
Oh, but there's no replay in the Olympics. Is there?
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, I think I'm mistaken. I think he was showing the 2 for the number of who the foul is on. But I thought he was saying 2 shots, but no. Free throws.
All right.
That's what I was getting so frustrated watching the women's game yesterday, where like they're missing so many free throws and like the game was right there for them, and it's like they just they couldn't get over the hump. That's a team that's in transition in terms of you have your old guard and then you got the kids coming up, and it's like, oh, I know that, Natalie Achano has been there for how long, but Aaliyah Edwards should be starting, and you should be running offense for Aaliyah Edwards, right? But yeah, that was tough. But I give Bridget Carlton credit, man. She was cooking. She was like, okay, I'm going to have to get the buckets here because nobody else is scoring. She had like 5 threes, man.
The women's program seems to be on a 2020 trajectory.
Jeez. Got to give Spain credit, man. They've hung around in this game. This is not a good idea, though, doubling Shai.
Right, it makes no sense.
No.
You leave the basket vulnerable.
Oh, RJ. Come on, RJ.
You got to count on RJ missing a 2-footer.
Right.
So hopefully Team Canada can attack the press.
Yeah.
Get some buckets.
Right? Look at that. They got guys rolling to the basket to crash the glass.
Well, we have 3 guys.
We're standing watching, yeah.
Okay. We're picking up 3/4 court.
But this is where Canada will traditionally get some turnovers, right? Lock it on defense. Aldama plays in Memphis, right? So he would have played with Dylan, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Offensive foul. Battling RJ. Battling down low. Sergio. I don't like when refs make calls like that because, like, just let them play. Let it play out. But in this instance, I'll take the call. You know what I mean? Because it's like a call that you can make on every single rebound, right? Like guys are battling for position under the basket. Yeah, you can make that call all the time. But in crunch time, you don't need to make those calls, in my opinion.
You gotta let them play. The last 5 minutes of the game, unless it's like a blatant obvious foul, you let them boys play.
Big free throws there from RJ. Who's checking in?
Okay.
Defensive lineup.
Yeah. Offense for defense?
Yeah. Yep. I like it, though.
Yeah, this is the time of the game where you got to do it.
Because look at this. Look at what Lou's doing, right? Full court press. That's what we're doing.
We're trapping? Let me see this. No.
Look at the defense. Look at the defense. Look at the defense.
Shadowing the ball.
Look at this defense, right? Yep. They still 5 seconds left. Oh, no. Oh, wow.
You got to tip your hat.
Yeah, you're just like, okay. Like, you played great defense there. My guy didn't even get into their offense until 5 seconds left on the shot. And then my guy just buries a deep 3. Dylan. Lou. That's also why you bring in Lou Dort, right? For those hustle plays. Shai's like, no, see, that's a bad decision by them. Why are you doubling Shai? Dylan, swing that, man.
Penetration bucket.
He had to rush it.
Yeah. Take the charge.
Block!
Wow.
No, they're going to challenge it. Oh, they might call that an and one, too.
Yeah.
Everybody's mad about a call at this point.
Everybody's begging for a call.
Oh, he's in the circle.
Yep, he's in the circle.
Oh, that might be. I can't tell. Let's see.
No way. That's out of his hand, beat.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Didn't even get to the glass.
Yeah.
Nope, still on the way up.
Yeah. Wow. That's a huge swing, though.
Yes, it is.
And the possession before, man, like when the ball was going back the other way, Dylan could have just swung it back and Shai had the shot the first time, right?
Set too.
Yeah.
His feet were set.
How do you pronounce Lul? How do you pronounce this?
Lulu?
You can miss one, buddy.
Hey.
We have ourselves a ball game here. This is a 3-point game. In the Olympics, this is what we've been waiting for. Years and years and years of watching Canada basketball.
Come on, box out.
Jump ball.
Oh, you gotta box up. That's crucial.
Yeah, off a free throw, you can't have that.
Cannot.
It's possession arrow, right?
Lucky.
Possession arrow in FIFA or FIBA. I keep mixing up FIBA and FIFA all the time. It's been a soccer summer, right?
It's been right. Go ball.
Woo! Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yep. Great move.
And the beauty of this is we're used to Shai making all the big buckets. And here we have Andrew Nembhard with 18 points, making big buckets in winning time. Beat. That's a tough bucket, man.
He hung in the air.
This guy playing nice. I don't know who that guy is, but he's been getting buckets.
You saying he can get some NBA looks?
I mean, Nembhard wants it. Nembhard wants it.
All right. It's a 3-point game.
Canada needs to stop here.
Yes, they do. I was going to say, you're really going to chuck up that 3?
Canada needs to stop. Wow. That was good defense by RJ. I was like, if that guy hits that shot over RJ like that.
Give the ball to Shai, man.
Right.
Like
Shai's like, I had enough. Right. He's like, now get out of the way. They're going to come with a double.
Get prepared to shoot.
No way.
So you're feeling?
A foul on who?
Where? What? Come on, man.
A foul for what?
Call the kick out stuff.
Hold on.
A jump shot.
They didn't really call a foul for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Come wow. Yo, these FIBA refs are like, I know I've joked around for this entire tournament doing these watch-alongs about how you got to be careful in the close games because these refs will do some foolishness. But what is that? You cannot make that call with them in the penalty and make that call to give them free throws at this point of the game. Like, come on, man. That's a scammer call, bro.
At this juncture of the game, you got to swallow your whistle, man.
Even by FIBA standards, that's a teeth call, right? Like, even by FIBA standards. What are we doing? Now you just made Shai mad.
See, you're lucky to bring this 1 for 2. Cook. Oh, man, it's too easy.
Come on, RJ. Let's go.
That's the game, man.
Let's go. Look how hype RJ is, and Shai's just laughing. Let's go.
He's laughing like, bro, you're supposed to make that.
Yeah. Right? Exactly.
He's laughing like, yo.
He's like, that's why I did that. Yeah,
that's
he's
why
like, that's why
you're supposed to make that. You're in the NBA. Wide open.
Wide open.
I just want RJ to take this confidence that he's earned during this Olympics.
Yes.
And have it translate into the Raptors season. That's all.
Big time bucket, RJ Barrett. And he's knocked down. He's had an amazing tournament for Canada. I mean, you could make the argument of MVP for Canada so far. That's a big time 3. Like, that is, the resilience shown by Canada, right? And I mentioned it earlier. We're talking about being confident watching this team play. I'd be so much more nervous a couple years ago watching this because you're just like, oh, it's a 2-point game. It's like, it's right there. But you're still just like, I don't know, man. I've seen them figure it out time and time again. And it's so weird for me to be sitting here watching these close Olympic games and be confident in Canada. Like I don't know. I was just not worried watching them in a 2-point game. I don't know. Here we are. Woo. Come on, man. Too easy.
A couple of years ago, this would have been a loss.
Right? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just such a crazy thing to be watching right now.
It's a crazy swing for the program.
Huge, right?
You can't give that weak side rebound up. They gotta come foul.
Yeah, Shai time.
Clear them out.
This guy's getting put on the skates.
Why is Abrinas coach?
Shai Island right now.
Abrinas off of Shai.
Shai Island right now. This is
the basket. That's an ignorant shot. He drew that foul.
Yeah. Yes, it's a vet right there, right? That's a soups play.
That's why Dylan's laughing.
Yeah, it's a soups play.
You did the most. It's
a soups play right there, right? Anyone other than Shai did that? We're like, yo, what are you doing, man? Pass the ball. But that's a soups play, right?
Have we ever been 3-0 in the Olympics?
No. I mean, you'd probably have to go back to like the 50s or something like that. I don't think so. Let me see. Someone online is going to tell me that, but my guess would be no. Let me see here. And the other part too, remember, everyone's like, oh, group of death. Oh, come on, Shai.
Yeah, we did have the toughest pool. And that's a great thing too.
Look at the defense. Rebound. Same team. Oh, wow. Yo, you got to give Spain credit, man. Spain balled out. They did not back down. They took every punch from Canada and stayed right in this game. And it's like, of course, the loose ball goes right to homie.
Basketball.
Jeez. Right to him.
Yeah, I thought that ref was going to call loose ball foul. Right?
Yes.
It's right in front of him.
Yeah. What a game. I mean, I got to give Spain credit, man. They played good in this game. The other part too about this is Spain down the stretch. You're just seeing how a lot of these teams play where they just wet threes. And you can't, like, your guards, especially these guys, because they play in the NBA where a lot of fake defense goes on in the NBA, right? But you can't really do that in FIBA because the line's closer, so everybody's a shooter, right? Hold on. How did they add so much time on the clock? What's going on right now?
I thought it was like 2 point something left
right?
on the clock.
Just inbound the ball.
Just throw it towards the basket like an alley-oop.
There he is. But even that, right? Like the fact that they're able to say, we're going to put on Jamal Murray and Nembhard and Shai. And you know what I mean? Like, you just have so many options late in the game that you're not nervous with any one of those ball handlers inbounding the ball, right? Like, they're not shook, right? Like, we just watched Nembhard knock down big time shots at MSG in the playoffs,
Yep.
right? Like that experience translates to this, right? Like the moment's not too big. You're not shook ones.
You got trusted ball handlers that are not going to turn over the ball and make good decisions.
Yeah. Because even, was it the first game? But one of the games where, I think Jamal Murray was still struggling, but late in the game, he went to the line and knocked down like 2 big free throws. And it's like, yeah, even if Jamal Murray is not the Jamal Murray we think, like NBA all-star, level-ish for Canada, even if he's not there, still the fact that he's one of the guys you're putting in late in the game that could have to hit free throws with the game on the line, that's massive,
100%.
right?
And it shows confidence from your coach too, right?
Yeah,
It
definitely.
builds your confidence. Because I guarantee we're going to get one of those Jamal Murray clutch games.
Yeah.
It might be against the U.S.
Exactly, right? And I think the fact that he's just looking more and more confident as the tournament goes along, this, like, he looked the most Jamal Murray. Like, it's not about stat sheet or seeing what it says on the stat line, but like just the plays that he was making looked more like Jamal Murray. And if that Jamal Murray game, as you said, comes in like the semifinals against the US, okay, right? Like, let's go. Because to beat the US, Canada has to play the perfect game. Yeah. Shai has to cook. Like, everybody has to cook, right? Like, so.
We got to get some home cooking from the refs. Everything has to happen.
Yo, Shai, I don't like how that rattled in, like we need to splash free throws right now, Shai. Come on, man. Jeez.
Here we go.
Big time buckets, Shai.
Here we go.
Big time win by Team Canada. That's crazy. Yeah, because they beat Spain in the World Cup, and that, I'm pretty sure that granted their berth to these Olympics, their win against Spain. Ooh. He didn't miss it by much. He didn't miss it by much. Got to give Spain credit, though. But Spain now, it's crazy. I don't know how this is going to break down in terms of the groups, but I'm sure the internet will tell me. But the way this tournament works, there's 3 groups. Top 2 teams in each group move on. And then the next 2 third-place teams. So Spain, I think, is 3rd place now in Group A. But if they have a better point differential than the other 2 third-place teams, they go on to the quarterfinals as well. So you could have 3 teams from your group in the quarterfinals.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Hold on. I didn't even see this. Skip Bayless, today was my last show on Undisputed. I'm leaving FS1. I've been planning to pursue other opportunities for several months. I've had a great 8-year run with a lot of great people at Fox, but now I'm excited for what's coming up. Stay tuned. All right, Skip Bayless. I think Rachel Nichols just went to Fox and took his job. That's what I think, but
Skip needed to go too. I feel like it's a changing of the guard when it's coming to sports media.
Yeah,
he's been there. Him and Stephen A. have been there for a while now. No.
Yeah. It's been a long run for sure. It's been a long run for them, but I think this, to me, as a crazy moment for Canada basketball, because you're 3-0 in your group, 3-0 in the group of death. They won close games, and even though these games have been close, my confidence in them to win these games never really wavered. And that's a weird thing. Like, these games have been super close games, but I'm like, yeah, they're going to win. Like, I'm just insanely confident that they're going to win. And that's weird. Like, I don't grasp that. I don't really get that. You know what I mean? Because I never pictured myself in this where you're watching Canada play at this high level, but here we are. And yet the reality, though, is when you do, like, break it down and realize, hey, these guys have won 3 big games against Australia, Spain, and Greece in the Olympics. Those are like a bunch of the better teams in this tournament, right? And they've made quick work of them. You're 3-0. You're moving on to the next round. You're hoping that you avoid the US until like either the semis or, well, I guess the final, which I don't know how it fully breaks down. I guess it depends on what happens in this France and Germany game at 3 o'clock today. But I don't know. I just think it's so crazy the place that this program's in right now, because you have Shea dominating, right? And then you get Nemhard coming off the bench with, what do you have, 18 in this game?
Yeah, 18.
And he just made all the plays down the stretch, 8 of 10 from the floor for Nemhard. That's high efficiency. And it's not like he was taking like easy shots. He was taking like threes over their trees. Like he's driving in the lane, hitting floaters. Like it was difficult shots. And my guy still shot 8 of 10 from the floor, 18 points off the bench. Shea with the game high 20 in this game. And he really did his damage from the free throw line, 5 of 10, which I don't think that's right. I saw them show 5 of 11.
5 for 11.
I remember I saw them show that, but this box score I'm watching right now on ESPN says 5 of 10. But anyway, Shea with 20 points, RJ with 16, including that massive 3 late, which really, I mean, essentially won the game. That was a big time play. The play of the game, I'd say. Shea driving, finding RJ for 3. And Canada, it's just no matter what, they're calm, they're cool, and they're just confident in each other. I love that replay that they showed of RJ like so hyped up and Shea just laughing, because like they expect this, right? Like they expect to win these games, and I think that's so dope. You're seeing the confidence. Before you came, I was talking about how like in at the very start of the Olympics, they had the decision to make about the what do you call it, opening ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
And Greece, obviously Giannis was the flag bearer for Greece, so they went. Canada's team didn't go to the opening ceremonies because they were playing the next day, and the venue was 2 hours away from where the opening ceremonies were taking place. So Canada decided, listen, 2 hours there, the opening ceremonies, and 2 hours back, plus it was in the rain. They made a great decision, but it also just showed me the confidence, like, oh no, we're here for the podium.
Yes.
We're not here for the opening ceremonies to like wave to the crowd and all that.
Real serious.
We'll do that when we have a medal on the podium. That's when we'll wave to the crowd and take all the pictures and all that. And I just thought like that just showed me the mentality that they're on. They're here for business. They're here for work. They're here to make sure that they're locked in and focused on the ultimate goal of medaling at the Olympics. And I just think it's almost like they skipped a step. And what I mean by that is, for so long, they were so close to making the Olympics and just would always fall short, right? Like they had teams good enough to make the Olympics over the 20 years, right? Between Steve Nash in 2000 and now. They had teams that could have made the Olympics, and just painful losses made them miss the Olympics. But now the team that finally gets there is legit. Do you know what I mean? Like some of those other teams could have qualified and they might not have been as good, but hey, we're in the Olympics. We played some games. Oh, we got a win at the Olympics. Cool. Oh, we made it out of the group. Cool. Oh, we made the quarterfinals. Yo, that's dope. But now when I'm saying like they skipped a step, it's like, no. They're here and now they're contenders to like win the shit. That's what I mean in terms of like they skipped
the tournament. They're contenders.
Yes, they're not happy to be here. They're like, yes. And that is dope. Like, I don't know, man. I just think watching this team over the last, couple years and seeing how focused they are, seeing the fact that, they brought in Jordy Fernandez because Nick Nurse took the Philly job. And, then they had to find a coach. And it was tough decision to make, but Jordi Fernandez has been a great coach for them, right? There's still always part of me that's like, oh, maybe he should have been the Raptors coach. And that's not a knock to Darko, but I'm just saying I like Jordi Fernandez a lot. But 2 years later, after a bronze medal at the World Cup, Canada is now 3-0. They'll have a top 3 seed in the quarterfinals. So the seeding between the group winners, right? The USA right now is at plus 30, plus 43. They play against Puerto Rico tomorrow. So the assumption is they're going to add to that, right? So they'll probably be the top seed. Germany or France, they play each other today. Germany's at plus 33. France is at plus 16. So basically, let's say France won the game and France wins by, let's say France wins by 3. That would give them a plus 19. Canada would leapfrog them essentially. Okay. Right? So it's a weird thing going forward, right? Because the toughest part to me is that if you're Canada right now, I'm reading this tweet here from Blake Murphy. Blake Murphy says they now await France and Germany outcome in plus minus, and technically the U.S. tomorrow to see if they'll be port 1 or port 2 in the quarterfinals draw. Either way, quarterfinals are Tuesday for Canada. That is hype. Olympic quarterfinals. Like, if you win that game in the quarterfinals, and now we're talking about they're playing in the semis, like, it's just what a time, right? Like, we're here. We're here. Team Canada, big time win. Big shouts to the people that tuned in to the live hangout, joining us on the stream, who've been watching along with us throughout the tournament as we've watched the Canadian men's and women's game on the live stream on the YouTube page. Reminder, that is under Sheldon Alexander. Big shouts if you were there. Bless the video with the like. That's how you support the movement. That is a Canada Hoops Daily Pod. We're going to do a podcast to wrap up the game, just a game recap. That'll be up this afternoon. Big shouts, though, to everyone who locked in and tuned into this. Actually, you know what? I might just do it right now. I'm not going to restart a feed. Let me see here. Give me a second here, because I might just. How long has this been going for?
I didn't know he plays doubles too.
Where is this feed? Okay. No, I'm going to shut this feed down. I'm going to regroup and then do a recap pod. But big shouts to everybody that tuned in to this, the Canada Hoops Daily Live Hangout, as Canada beats Spain 88-85. Canada now advances to the quarterfinals. They win their group, a perfect 3-0, beating Spain, beating Australia, beating Greece. The group of death, Canada comes out victorious, moving on now to the quarterfinals. They're waiting on some point differential, some other games to see exactly what seed they'll be in the quarterfinals. But the point remains, Canada is moving on. They're undefeated in the Olympics so far. What a time to be alive indeed. We've been talking about it. We've been waiting for it. And now I feel like I'm at the point where I'm comfortably watching Canada games, just expecting them to beat anybody not named the U.S. Like, I'm not nervous. Like, I'll be nervous for the U.S. game, but everybody else, I'm just kind of like, no, we got this. We got this. And it's just insane to think about, but I'll be nervous come the quarterfinals, because it's just knockout stage, right? Like, you got to win, right? Like, even if they dropped this game today, you're still moving on to the quarterfinals, right? You're just going to have a lower seed. But the stakes are now up. Now it's winning time. Now it's medal time. Now it's, now this is why they've been working hard for the last few years. This is why people have been talking about, oh, Jamal Murray. Like, you need Jamal Murray to win these games, right? You're going to need the whole squad. And in this game, I thought Canada got a great performance from the whole squad. 88-85. You had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the way with 20 points, RJ Barrett with 16, but the X factor was definitely Andrew Nembhard. 18 points off Canada's bench, hit 2 big threes in the first half, but shot 8 of 10 overall in this game. And he really did great work in the first half, in which when Shai went to the bench, Nembhard and Jamal Murray really held it down for Team Canada. Again, you're going to look at Jamal Murray's stat line and it's going to say 4 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. But the 5 assists, some of those were just beautiful Jamal Murray-esque type plays. And this was the first time so far in these Olympics where you saw the Jamal Murray-esque type plays multiple times throughout. You had him driving in the lane, no look dimes. You had him top of the key, did the whip around pass, like no look from the top of the key, finding Dwight Powell under the rim. Like Jamal Murray is just getting more and more comfortable to the point where we are now going to like appreciate the fact that you have Jamal Murray coming off the bench of your Olympic team. That is an incredible place to be if you are Team Canada, right? Like that is the depth that this program has, but also it shows me the buy-in from these guys that, you know, someone like Kelly Olynyk, who's been the face of the program since he was first in the league and played for this team for so long, and he's now accepting a bench role. Jamal Murray won an NBA championship last year, and he's like, no, that's cool. I'll come off the bench for Lou Dort because Lou Dort, his job is to play defense beside Shai. Cool. That is just ultimate buy-in, and we're seeing that from this team. RJ Barrett, who led the team in scoring the last 2 games, heading into this one, he doesn't come into this one thinking, oh, it's my time to shine. I got to force up shots. No, everything is still within the flow of the offense. And guess what? When the time came, guess who the ball finds? RJ Barrett, and he's able to knock down the biggest shot of the game. A huge 3 set up perfectly from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who continues to just be that dude for Team Canada. And a reminder, he was named Canada's Athlete of the Year last year, right? Which was funny. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was definitely told about some of the people who were arguing against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning Athlete of the Year last year. And I'm going to be honest and say that my opinions of said people have drastically changed because clearly you don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, I'll say this. If he won Canadian Athlete of the Year last year, and then all he did was proceed to have an MVP caliber season in the NBA, and now you're leading Canada in the Olympics to heights they haven't been before, I don't know. I'm just saying. This is an incredible place to be if you're Team Canada. They come out and they win against Spain in a must-win. Like the stakes for Spain, they played like their lives were on the line because if they won, they win the group. If they lost, they fall to third. So, and now need point differential to move on to the quarterfinals. So it was a massive game for Spain. And Canada just maintained control, maintained the tempo throughout. And I think that, you know, at this point now, everyone's going to be trying to figure out, when's Canada going to face the U.S.? Joe Casaro from The Score, he says on Twitter, assuming a U.S. win tomorrow, I believe Canada's hopes of avoiding the American side of the bracket and a potential semifinal clash come down to needing France to beat Germany by 3 points or less, or beating Germany by 4 while scoring 95 points or less. So this is what I was saying earlier, right? Because the point differential. So this game at 3:00, everyone's going to be locked in watching France and Germany. That's going to be a massive game with huge implications for Team Canada, of course. But overall, Canada has figured out a way to get out of the group of death and advance with a top seed with a huge dub. And I mean, Spain, it looks like Spain might not make it to the next round just because of the way the point differential is shaking down. But like the fact that Canada was able to do that in crunch time, in winning time, to me is what made this game like, I don't know, just the poise that Canada has, right? That they're going to make the plays when they need them. The fact that they could, they didn't really shoot it that well from three, 35%, but you held Spain, who's one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the world, you held them to 27%. So the fact that Canada was able to kind of win despite the game going the way that Spain wanted to play in terms of slow down, pick up, slow tempo, and it didn't matter. Canada was able to still come through and make this game, make all the plays down the stretch. To me, that's just what it is. I don't know. I just think it's an incredible performance. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in this tournament so far, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists against Greece, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists versus Australia, and then 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists against Spain. This stat here says Shai is averaging 19 points on 67.9 true shooting percentage in the Olympics. I mean, that is incredible. And you look at this, which I don't know what this means, but I'm sure Spain is just not liking Canada right now. So Canada wins this game 88-85, right? 88-85 is what Canada beat Spain in the World Cup last year. 88-85 is what Canada beat Spain in the Olympics this year. Both games eliminated Spain from the tournament. Like, I don't know, man. It's just a crazy, crazy time to be alive for a Canadian basketball fan. And you're led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to get all of the, headlines, as he should, because he makes the big time plays. But really, as advertised, this team, it's about the depth of the team. They're just able to get it done, figure out a way, even when the shots aren't falling, they can get defensive stops, even when they're dealing with a size, disadvantage because they're playing a bigger team like Spain. They still find a way to get the big rebounds when needed and figure out a way to earn another victory. Again, 3-0. 3-0 is Canada in the Olympics so far. Shouts to my guy LTZ in the Instagram chat, says big win, all caps. Big shouts to anybody who tuned in on the live chat as well. And really appreciate y'all for tuning in. And, the Canada versus Spain, big time game, big time recap, big times for Canada in said Olympics. I mean, Dylan Brooks and Lou Dort continue to do their thing defensively, and Shai, RJ handling the scoring. You get some extra pub from Andrew Nemhard. Just what a time to be alive indeed for Team Canada. Jamal Murray starting to look more like Jamal Murray. The Canada bench unit, Kem Birch is proving. A lot of people were wondering, okay, how are they going to, Canada's really undersized. People thought that might have been Zach Edey. Zach Edey decides that he's not going to play in the Olympics. He ends up going to Memphis Summer League. People are kind of wondering about Kem Birch. Kem Birch has been a solid fill-in for Team Canada, and he's been needed, and he's played well. And, I'm sure Zach Edey's regretting that decision right now of not playing for Canada's Olympic team. I'm sure also Andrew Wiggins is regretting his decision in terms of not playing in the Olympics. And, I know there was a lot of talk where people were blaming Golden State, but it was reported earlier that it was actually Wiggins' decision more so than it was Golden State's decision not to play in the Olympics. And I said this before the tournament started that, I know it sounds crazy to say, but I don't think we need Andrew Wiggins. And I know that sounds crazy, but I really don't. He's just going to take minutes away from RJ, who's played so good, right? And, he's going to take minutes from, and you don't know the Wiggins that you're going to get. right? That's also the issue, really. We don't know. Like if they said to Wiggins the same thing that they say to like Nikhil, where it's like, hey, you're gonna come off the bench, but we need you to play full court defense, and that's your role. Is Wiggins buying into that? Or is he thinking, yo, I'm just as good as Shai. I'm just as good as RJ, or I'm better than RJ. Like we don't know the Wiggins that you're gonna get. My point overall is just saying I like the fact of the chemistry that this team has and the fact that they built this program, like this recent run here, with the core over the last 3 summers of Shai, RJ, Dylan Brooks, Dwight Powell, Kelly Olynyk. That's been the core. And then you add in Nemhard, you add in Jamal Murray. Those guys have come in with the right temperament of accepting whatever role to fit in with the rest of the team. And if you don't have that, it's going to be a problem. You're going to have a situation where, like, look at what's going on with the U.S. team, how they play one game, Jason Tatum doesn't play. The whole internet goes crazy that Jason Tatum didn't play. Steve Kerr has to do an interview where he's saying, like, oh, I felt like an idiot. I didn't play Jason Tatum. And it's like, it's not that big of a deal. Somebody has to not play. And then what happens the next game? Oh, magically Jason Tatum's in the starting lineup? Like, you're telling me you didn't just do that just because? Right? Like, that's what I'm saying. When you have to be managing egos like that, that can cause problems. And so far from Canada, we're just seeing team chemistry at an all-time high. Look at the montage of Joel Embiid looking just super salty on USA's bench the last game because he didn't play. And my guy just sitting there with his tracksuit on, hands in his pocket, not even like the whole bench is up cheering and Joel Embiid just like sitting there. There's none of that on Canada's team. And I like that. I just like, listen, I could go on for hours and hours and hours, but I got to stop at some point. We'll be back to do the next game for Team Canada, which will be the quarterfinals on Tuesday. What a time to be alive indeed. Canada wins 88-85 against Spain, eliminating them from the Olympics, which is crazy because they eliminated them from the World Cup last summer. Canada just has Spain's number. That's just what it seems like. It's like we said thank you for Marc Gasol and helping the Raptors get a championship. Now hold these L's. But hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. Sergio Scariolo, thank you for helping the Raptors win a championship. Now hold these L's. We appreciate that. We'll get you back at some other time. You know, the payment was the championship rings. We appreciate that. Canada's basketball program is here. While the women have been a disappointment, the men have more than made up for it with exceptional play through the first 3 games. I do want to have a long talk about the women's team at some point. I'm just trying to figure that out. We will do that maybe the next game that they play. I don't know when they play. They might play Sunday. We'll check on that. But the way to find that out is make sure that you subscribe to the Sheldon Alexander feed on YouTube. That's how you support the movement that is the Canada Hoops Daily brand. We're on YouTube. Just search Sheldon Alexander. You can find our wrap-up pods, and you can also find the live hangouts where we'll be watching the games continuously throughout, and of course a wrap-up. So recap pods, which you can also find those videos as well. So really appreciate that, everyone, for tuning in. Big shouts to the people that are on the YouTube page right now. Bless the video with the like on the way out. If you liked what you saw, liked what you heard, and you want to join us again next time, that's how you support the movement, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much to my guy, Ola, for checking in with me as well. Appreciate that. Everybody in the chat that made a comment, that commented on the Instagram page, really appreciate y'all there. Instagram was rocking. Lots of jokes there in that stream as well. Really appreciate everybody. Look out for the wrap-up podcast. It'll be up. The recap pod will be up momentarily of this pod as Canada wins. Big-time win. Going to the quarterfinals as winners of Group A, winners of the Group of Death, as they take down Spain, one of the perennial powers in international basketball, 88-85. Really appreciate that. Thank everybody for tuning in. And as I always say, I used to pray for times like this to rhyme like this. This is the Canada Hoops Daily live hangout. Also, the recap pod all in one. We got you covered. You know what we do here. We provide you with basketball content on the daily, of course. And as always, we are unpolished and unapologetic. Until next time, see ya.